From America to Africa in the highest corridors of power, and to our most vulnerable readers, Maya Angelou was a global inspiration. Her niece, Sally Baffour, joins us now, along with her daughter, Arata, talk about the woman who inspired and continues to inspire people around the world. Thank you very much indeed for talking with us. I mean, were you surprised by the absolutely mammoth response to Maya Angelou's passing?
You know, I think in one breath I was, and in another I wasn't. You know, I think as a private person that I know of her, I was rather surprised. Because knowing Maya Angelou the way that we do, she is really just a grandmother, basically, and a mother. So when we look at her as a person that we know and look at the way the world perceives her, it's like we're dealing with two different people, quite honestly.
And so you were saying you knew her privately. What can you give us of a sense of what she was like away from the media and away from the persona that many of us know?
You know, one of the things that I think you could never take away from her is she was always larger than life, even in her own home. And one of the things that I always remember about Auntie Maya is the fact that she always had jewelry. Her jewelry was always on. She had beautiful earrings. She'd always had a lovely necklace. And in her kitchen, she loved cooking. And we would go in there, and the minute you walk into her house, she head straight for the kitchen. And she'd cook her fantastic meal in no time at all this while entertaining. She always had a particular design to her home, where the kitchen was adjacent to a breakfast table, and then on the other side was like a dining table. So while she was in there, we'd all be sitting around the dining table, and we'd be having a conversation while she was cooking. I
can see the resemblance, actually. You look a bit like her with that sort of short haircut. But I just want to talk to Arata there for a minute. She called you granddaughter, didn't she? I mean, I mean, what did she teach you as somebody who she saw as her granddaughter?
She taught me so much. I don't even know where to begin. She always said there was an incident where she was giving somebody something and the person turned around and said, "Oh no, I can't take this." And she said, "Oh no, if somebody gives you something, honey, you just smile and say thank you." You know, so...
I like that. So a bit of humour there.
Yeah.
Terrific. And is there anything that you think is going to stay with you in terms of life lessons for the rest of your life, would you say, that your grandmother gave you?
Her thing was gratitude, you know, so if somebody gives you something, you always reciprocate it, and you never forget it, you never stop saying thank you. That was her thing. And she always, when you pose for a picture, she had an interesting thing. Like the person would count down, 3, 2, 1, and you gradually see her. Almost like give your best face to the camera. It was beautiful.
But of course, most of us were used to her professional side, which we saw. I mean, was there any of her writing that influenced you?
I think that what happened was much later on. One thing I didn't mention to you is that I adopted Arata and her twin brother. And at the time that I was about to adopt them, I don't know if you know anything about adoption in England, once the placement had been matched, the children are introduced to you over a 2-week period, very gradually. And on the penultimate day to moving in, they spend the whole day with you. When I was adopting Arata and Lawe, her twin brother, it wasn't going very well. And I must be honest with you, every step of the way, I wondered why I was deceiving myself into going ahead with this thing, because it just wasn't working. They couldn't stand me. Anyway, so on this particular day when they had to spend the whole day, Auntie Maya was in London. So she called and said, "Sal, come and spend the day with me." And I said, "Well, actually, I can't because I've got the twins with her." She said, "Oh, bring them." I said, "Oh, no, I don't think so." And she said, "No, bring them." And she was staying at Jill Tweedy's house. Jill Tweedy used to be the editor for the Times. And he's got a house which is full of antiques, and my children at the time were very, very uncontrollable kids, all over the place and breaking everything. So she said, "Bring them in." And the kids came in there, and the minute Auntie Maya saw the twins, she recognized them. She recognized where they're coming from. She recognized what their issues were instantly, and did the most extraordinary exercise with the children whilst we all, the adults, were talking. Her sister friend, Dolly McPherson, happened to share the same birthday as the twins. An amazing coincidence. So she did this exercise with the twins, and after an hour, she had managed to cool them down, tame them, and they were the calmest kids. And I thought, these are the same children.
You think that that same spirit was what came across in her writing as well?
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Soothed people and that sort of
Soothed people, and the fact that she'd had such an extensive experience also meant that she could reach out to everyone, even children. And you see, the effect she had on them was she managed to plant the seed of trust of adults into their lives at that point. So when it came to moving in, they were ready for us. So it was after that experience that I began to think and started documenting the children's lives as they were growing. And that's when I started taking an interest in writing.
Right.
You're terrific, so you write yourself. I mean, and what do you feel about the impact that Maya has on the world, that will leave on the world, the legacy?
Oh, I think that what she did was she took her suffering and brought it as a gift to humanity. A gift to humanity to let the world know that you needn't necessarily allow yourself to be paralyzed by your failures, that you can overcome those failures and allow it to enable you to grow and make it a gift to humanity.
Thank you, so incredibly powerful, and thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your stories. We do really appreciate it, Sally and Arata. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marv.